It's Rob on the road, discovering the stories that capture the unique spirit of Northern California. Here's KVIE's Rob Stewart.
I am just blown away by what we have found for you on the road today. We're in Oroville at the Chinese Temple, a national treasure dating back to the 1860s. This place is just beautiful. We're inside the Chinese Temple with Vice Mayor of Oroville, Phil Chan Wilcox. Good to see you, Phil.
Nice to meet you, Rob, and welcome to Oroville.
Thank you. It's so nice to be here, and this place is beautiful. And you are part of the originating family that built this place.
That's correct. My great-grandfather came to Oroville in 1867, and he was part of the ruling class in China, and he represented the emperor here in Oroville and assisted the immigrants in writing home, collecting taxes for the emperor.
They came here for gold?
That came here for gold and other reasons.
Well, let's go up to the altar because it is so beautiful, and you say that 3 religions were celebrated in this room, correct?
That's correct. This is actually called Liet Sheng Kong, and it's a temple of many gods. And Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism is practiced here.
All in one.
All in one.
Tell me about these beautiful boards along the walls. Are they prayer boards?
They're prayer boards and they're thank you boards. And what would happen is the immigrants would come here and they would make a request, and they wanted the gods to make sure that they were heard or the requests were seen. And these boards were actually carved in China. And if they were granted their request by the gods, then they would do a thank you board also. So it's a combination of both.
And I can't help but notice right above here to the right of the altar, is that a dragon head?
That's actually a lion head.
A lion head.
And it's
from
paper
parades?
From parades. They utilize that in like the Chinese New Year celebration.
Yes.
And they're made from paper mache.
This is so moving to be here, to see these relics.
Well, you know, it's probably something that I didn't appreciate when I was younger, but, you know, as I've gotten older, I realized that this is a part of my heritage and is part of the reason I am who I am today. And I'm very proud that I have such a strong heritage that is actually traceable.
Well, there's another special room next door that is special to you that I'd like to go see.
Okay.
Okay, come on, let's go check it out. In this room is the final resting place, so to speak, of some very special puppets.
Correct. When the theatrical troops would head north from San Francisco, they would come and do their shows, and this was a way of educating people regarding their heritage and different events that took place. And some of these puppets, we don't know exactly how many we still have in these chests. They were packed up in the late 1920s due to floods.
And they haven't been opened since.
And they haven't been opened since.
This is what they look like if you pulled them out of these crates here, though.
Correct.
So that took a lot of work to restore. I'm sure there other restoration efforts are underway here as well.
We're in the process of trying to find someone to assist us in the restoration of these puppets.
This is a very special room to you. Tell me what this is.
This is actually the Chan Temple. It was built
Your family?
Yes, it was built with donations from my family and members of the Chinese community. This is in memory of one of my family members in China.
Wow.
And my family practiced Confucianism here. Confucianism is a way of showing respect and honor for your family members and your ancestors, and that's what we did. There would be times when we would actually set out full meals on the altar and for our ancestors to enjoy, and then afterwards we would actually enjoy the meal too.
And behind us is the Chan banner.
Correct.
That is just exquisite, and I want to ask you, How do you part with all this stuff?
Well, you know, with many of the artifacts here in the temple, our family felt that it should be shared with the community. And because if you keep it for yourself, eventually members of the family lose interest and they go, you know, who knows, in a chest or even sold. And so by donating it to the temple, then thousands of people are able to enjoy these items.
We're crossing through the courtyard here at the Chinese temple. This is so peaceful.
It is. It's serene, and a lot of people come and just sit in the courtyard. As you can see, we have a fish pond over there, and they just sit here and meditate and enjoy the solitude.
There is solitude here for sure, and we're surrounded by other special rooms, and one of them is the tapestry room.
That's correct.
Which is just will blow your mind. Each tapestry in here, and they are all around us, has a special meaning.
That's correct. They were used by the entertainment troops that came from San Francisco, and they're like billboards. They would tell what the show was going to be about. If you notice, some of them have dragons, some of them have human beings, like the one on the far right represents the emperor's court. So you would know that that was going to be a story about the emperor.
Even if you could or could not read.
That's correct.
Because they're illustrated as well as written.
There's Chinese characters on on both sides of the tapestry that tell you what it's going to be about. But unfortunately, not everybody was able to read them. So therefore, if they would look at the tapestry, they would have an idea as to what the program was going to be about.
Wow. And these, well over 100 years old.
Well over.
And yet the color is still so vivid and vibrant.
Well, you know, members of my family stored these tapestries for years, just so that eventually when a place was built to showcase them, they would be available. So
I'm glad they did. This is also more than the temple. This was the center of town.
That's correct. This was actually the center of Chinatown here in Oroville. This is the council chamber and where the Chinese community conducted their business. The Chinese community took care of their own, basically. We were not under the Anglos who were in town, and the Chinese would come here and have letters written home to send money back to China, and my great-grandfather would collect taxes to send to the emperor.
Wow, to the emperor in China.
To the emperor in China. So even though, you know, everyone pays taxes,
yes,
even back in the 1800s.
Phil, tell me about the Fong Li room.
Okay, the Fong Li room is a reproduction of the front room in my grandparents' business, which was also their residence. And Fong Li means big profits. You know, in Chinese, everything is symbolism, and you don't name something or have something without it representing something else.
And in this room, herbs were sold for Chinese medicine.
Gold was purchased for the government. Because, and weighed.
And then sent back?
And sent back to you know, Washington, D.C. And also there's a family tree in there that shows our family tree from the 16th generation forward. And we actually have information going back to 500 AD.
You're kidding. For your family?
For our family.
Wow. That just must be so special for you to be here and to know that your family was everywhere here. Oh,
they were. And you know, my grandparents had 5 sons and a daughter that lived to adulthood. And, you know, the Chinese or Asian way is that you live with your parents until you can go and provide your own home. And so the first 5 years of my life was in my grandparents' home.
Well, a lot of lives were changed here, not just yours.
That's true.
A lot of
Absolutely.
people. It's been so good to be with you. Thank you so much.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you too for joining us here on Rob on the Road in Oroville at the Chinese Temple. Thanks.
To explore other places with Rob, log on to kvie.org/RobOnTheRoad.